Whoosh! What's up, ladies? My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Deku Was a Quirk. So, in this alternate timeline that I'm making, I probably did one in the past, but I don't remember if I did it or not. But this is gonna be my own version, or probably this is gonna be the updated version, probably, but I don't remember. So, yeah. So just to clarify for this what if thing, Deku and Zuko are two different things. So so this will be Deku, the monster form. He's the main host body. But the main character, actual character, Zuko, is a quirk. So he's basically a symbiote, basically. They're like Venom. But instead of turning a main host into some bigger monster, like like Venom turns into giant Venom, and Carnage turns into a Lego figure, whatever. So, but this time, it's basically Zuko is a quirk. So it's basically like a human side of Deku. That's because both of them are two separate people. Kind of like what he has on his shoulders, like the red hair with blue eyes, and then blue hair with red eyes. And no, I'm not doing like a red eyes darkness dragon or whatever. So, yeah. So, and I'm also adding zooming to this what if so that I won't forget. And because of two different personality the or two different, but they share a same mind together. So let's just say Deku was born first. Okay? So let's begin. And let's start with the what will happen in this universe. So when kids hit age of 1, they get powers. So when they are at age of 1, to whom two, no, if it was 1 or 2, it would be normally fine. But no one has 3 or 4 powers. Yeah, that's what Zuko or Deku has. So the yeah. So, but Zuko's is a quirk, so it's already been activated. Because normally, at age of 4, I'm still keeping anime and manga rules apply about but Zuko quirk already was activated before came out of the room. So that, yeah. So Zuko, or they named him Zuko. And yeah. So he's always, so at age of 3, Ochako and Bakugo, or so Ochako was dating Zuko, and Bakugo was actually dating Zumi. Yeah. So, but Ochako and the rest of them don't know the other side of him, the other personality. Because Zuko is kind of having like what Twice it was going through. But instead of having the cut on his forehead and trying to figure out who's a real one and which one is a fake one, Deku is more of a, yeah. So, at age of 4, they go to a quirk doctor. And the quirk doctor tells Zumi, I'll just use her, Zumi, that she has a quirk and she can become a hero. But it was like after he was trying to think of, because after the test, he's trying to figure out how to explain this to Zuko. But he basically trying to figure out for himself. As Zuko, or so, then the quirk doctor turns over to Zuko and tells him that he's quirkless. As Bakugo, or so, Inko and Sashi's like, you win one, you lose one. So then, yeah. So the quirk doctor tells Inko and Sashi and Zumi to step out in the hallway thing. As Zuko was like sitting there, and so the quirk doctor asks Zuko, and no, I'm not gonna do like a doomsday version and just shoots Inko and Sashi and Zumi out in the hallway. No, I'm not gonna do that. So the quirk doctor tells Zuko that he actually does have a quirk, but it's hard to explain. Or actually, he says, it's hard to explain this to you, but you are a quirk, actually, Zuko. And the host body, you could basically name it anything if you want. Because the main body, like your own body, is different from the quirk. Or should I say, you, actually. So, when Zuko heard that, he's surprised. But it's hard for me to explain it. So, I'll put in as he did change the Zuko, or from quirkless to quirk, name Zuko. Because, yeah, you're more of a talker than a what the other side of you are. Really? Am I a quirk? How am I still... I look human. You're a quirk. So you are a quirk, so you can... You're possessing a host body. Or you were born... I could tell that you were born as a monster. And he says, real comforting, Quirk Doctor. Yeah. Sorry. Get kind of carried away. Hunt. Yeah. You were born as a monster. But as he's it's a lot to take. And as Zuko says. So maybe Deku. As Zuko names his host body Deku. Basically, as a monster, as Zuko, as the Quirk Doctor sees the Deku's monster eyes comes out, I could see it in your eyes of, what? He was sleeping, so yeah. So then after he left and so Zuko and of course the family was like didn't like talk to him because he's quirkless and his friends make fun of him. And Zuko just smiles at Bakugo as he starts laughing. As Bakugo is like wondering why is he laughing. I know that I'm like quirkless, as he's like pretends, but in reality he's just he's only pretending to, not actually quirkless. Because what his friend is talking to, or what Bakugo talks to, is a quirk actually. Makes him going, yeah, crazy. So then Zuko, so Ochako goes for Bakugo, and she did ask Bakugo to pull a prank, or let's do a prank on Zuko together of her and him pretends to date and then yeah. So the Zuko is excited. So does Bakugo. No? And if you hear any copyright music, I'm sorry. Okay? Because I don't want to, like... Basically, I don't want to make any copyright things. So, time skip to 15. So, both Zuko and Deku are age of 15. Zumi is at 15, same thing. So I know that if both of them fused, or if Zuko and Deku fused together to create, or there's a, yeah. So Zuko goes to UA. He gets accepted to UA. As Bakugo's like, wait, what? You're gonna go to UA? Come on, Zuko, or deku. And Zuko wears sunglasses as he hides his eyes, as he doesn't want to show it. And so, come on. And so then after school, Baku grabs Zuko's shirt, lifts it up. Like, grabs it and holds him up. Why are you hiding, eating? Not hiding anything. You just got, so after the UA, so after that whole incident, Zuko was walking home with Zumi. And Zuko, who was basically, and Zumi's like, because she felt like she got cheated on by Bakugo. And she's like all down, like embarrassment or sadness. As Zuko looks at her and says, cheer up. He basically, I think he's trying to make you embarrassed. Really? And Zumi says, really? You think he's making me feel embarrassed? Ernest? Yeah. He basically, I normally think, because that's how my mind is also set too. So then the Sludge Villain incident, but this time, because Zuko and Deku are one and the same, basically, Zuko he stops the Sludge Villain's villain, as he says, got you. As he perfect cube. As he shrunk the Sludge Villain down into a cube. As he picks it up, and he's like, okay. As it only took him 5 seconds. So then All Might shows up with... So Zuko hands him a box. Here you go. Here's Sludge Villain right there. Have fun. So then, yeah. So Zuko was pretty powerful. And so then So then after that, Zumi actually got one for all because she followed him. Typical sister, isn't she? As Deku says, yeah. I agree. As when they got home, because Inko and Asashi ignores Zuko and Deku. So he always has to fend for himself. But his family always goes out for dinner. As he eats hamburger. And because Because both Zukus have actually share the same stomach. So if Zuko eats, then Deku eats too. So then if Deku eats, then Zuko eats too. So yeah. So now at UA, Zuko's like, huh. As he steps over the bump that normally he would have just like fallen over. But Zuko was so focused. Yes. Because he actually trained from age of 4 to 15. So he's using his quirk. Or no, because he is a quirk, his quirk is now super strong. Yeah. And because this is an alternate version of Zuko, but it's still is the same thing. Like he wrote down every hero's moves. But when he did that, he also gained basically like a copy all of the pro heroes and villains into himself. Or actually the quirk or him gains like powers of he could make himself super big, or he could use trees, branches, things, or he could use every other powers in the entire world. Oh. So yeah. So Zuko was pretty powerful. And he says, huh. As Tinya like scarred him for being like quirkless, huh? And Zuko's like, sit down, please. Let's get this over with. I'm already hungry enough. And you look pretty tasty, Tinya. As Tinya's gulping, and he sat down and yeah. So then the music mic explains that like you only have to kill 1-pointers, 2-pointers, 3-pointers, and avoid 0-pointers. So yeah. And save anyone that needs it, that earns you extra. As Deku says, doesn't look hard enough. I could just eat them all if I wanted to. As it goes inside of his head saying, maybe you will, but just the robots part, not the humans. So, yeah. How long has this video been? I forgot to check. Okay. So, yeah. So, Zuko was in front of the line. As Zuko was, he says, as he did tell Tinya that he's sorry for her, but he's just that hungry. Okay? So no hard feelings. Okay? As Tinya says, you've been forgiven. And sorry for calling you quirkless. Yeah. So, but you actually, I actually have a quirk, actually. Is myself, actually. You want to see the other guy? What other guy? As the doors open, as Zuko ran and fast as lightning, as Zuko transforms into Deku and that. As everybody was shocked. Not shocked, shocked. As everyone can't even believe. As he's destroying 1-pointers, 2-pointers, 3-pointers. He even destroyed all of the robots under 2 seconds. Over half. So, yeah. So then he basically, half of the robots that were 1, 2, 3, were all destroyed by Deku, who is his monstrous form, as he wipes his tail. As he starts roaring to the skies, as that's a belly laugh. As he's enjoying destruction of it. As everybody was, as he literally, he grabs a 3-pointer and because the oil leaked out, he starts drinking it, yeah. I bit my tongue. Ow. Yeah. He literally was, drinking gasoline. As everybody thinks that's... And so, Nezu tells Zuko, but Deku wasn't responding to that. As Bakugo, who says, as the Deku, as he turns around, he responds, what? As they all said that at the exact same time. As he tells them that me and Zuko are 2 different, I'm the host body. Name Deku. The one that is your friend that you were talking to, Baku and Tenya, is a quirk called Zuko. We're both 2 separate personalities. And when everyone heard that Zuko and Deku are 2 different people, they were like, what? But how is that possible? Don't ask me. I was born with the quirk of that. So, Nezu's like, that makes sense. And because it says here, Zuko, quirk, Zuko. So, everyone was shocked when, yeah. So, now, and plus, Zumi was shocked. When she heard that Zuko had a quirk. Or both Deku and Zuko have Deku has a quirk that's named Zuko. As he is like, man. As, yeah. So, when after the exam, sorry, let's see how long. Oh, yeah. See how long this video will take because I will. So, yeah. So, Zuko ends up basically. Or so Deku explains everything that, like, he was born as a monster, but the quirk manifested earlier before rest of your quirks. So that they don't want to be discriminated by you humans or by rest of you. As he looks away when he said that, or because they don't know what he's looking at, because he's always has his eyes covered, because he only talks. Because hold on, where is it? Where is that picture? Here it is. This one. He always has his eyes covered, so he can't even look at. Yeah. So yeah. Zuko was tough. As everyone can't even believe that. Yeah. As the. Yeah. So all this time, Ochako was dating a monster, but she knew that Zuko was, or so both Zuko and Bakugo. So after the exam, as Bakugo walks up to Zuko and tells him that I didn't know that you were that all of this time. I thought you were just a human with a quirkless, but it turns out you actually had a quirk the entire time. Holy crud. I was talking to a quirk. That's, yeah. Yeah. But or Deku, and because you named me that, and, but when you called me Deku when we were before we went to UA, you called me Deku, and the other side of me, he should I say, wanted to come out and yell at you for quit picking on me. Yeah. And Izuku's eyes, one of his eyes, gosh dang it, as they're like, what? Every time I smell something or someone says my name, it always, or it says the Deku part, or smell something, my half of me, like, as he looks at his eye, as it was black on the outside, kind of like what Mina's eyes, like this one, but instead of yellow, it was green. And it can't operate by itself, so he's like, well, excuse me for a minute. Then they have to talk to Deku real quick. As Bakugo's like, yeah. Don't interrupt me like that. Deku, sorry. He, I'm just hungry. Ezuku and Deku are just too, yeah. All right. As he turns around, and Bakugo's like, see you later. As Ezuku leaves, Azumi is with him. So Zuko, like, there's this one restaurant that he always goes to. Because the guy at there, he actually knows the guy, or the restaurant owner. Because he actually, off screen, he actually saved the restaurant owner's life from getting killed by two villains. And plus Deku properly introduces himself, and yeah. As both Zuko and Deku are just like, you know that one scene where where Eddie Brock and Venom could go walks right in, and both Venom and Brock always get recognized by the store owner. Well, Zuko is like that by the restaurant owner. So because there was some customers that didn't want the crummy food stuff, but Zuko's just like, so they all like gives it to him, and he eats like 10 pounds of burgers, and he slurps up all the drinks, because they usually, when they see him in his normal form or his monster form, normally they got a monster-sized drink waiting for him. So, yeah. And because it was an old man, and that ran it, Zuko also reversed the aging process from older to younger. Basically to the middle-aged man. Basically, yeah. As he's like, man, you're so yeah. That's every time. So he ends up going to so when he got home, he had a full belly, but he was so drowsy. He's like, okay, should I take over? Yeah. So Deku hands a wheel off to Zuko, and yeah, Zuko is quite resistant to getting like sleepy. So when he goes in, he lays down on his own bed, sleeping. And all the food evaporated into his body faster than normal people. So yeah, I know this is going to be the Because reason why I'm making this a super long video is because I he for after this video comes out, I'm gonna make a updated version of custom cards earns. So yeah. And before this is gonna be the question for you. If you guys want me to turn all my what if characters into Yu-Gi-Oh cards, let me know in the comments below. I'll pick like 5 cards or 5 characters from this what if storyline or what if of YouTube stuff to make like basically this for starter one. Like I could make definitely not the dark version of Ochako. And let me clarify this up. What I mean by dark is basically I'm not talking about like a villain deku or no, not villain deku. The villain Ochako or the because in a couple videos I forgot to explain why. Because it's not the... I know that Bunny Girl is not, like, gay, or neither does Hawks, because... But because in the dark alternate version, I'm not talking about Ellen's version, but the super dark ones. Yeah. Of Ochako getting married to the bunny girl. What I mean is basically I'm trying to say her. So yeah. So let's continue this what if. Oh no, yeah. So that's just like the reasons why I'm not gonna do like adding like that gay version of Ochako one to it. So let's continue. So next morning, Zuko gets up. He gets a letter and from Nezu and basically everybody that participated in it. So Zuko gets like machine, as he says, because it was personal. Zuko or Deku, whoever's watching, you're in class 1A. And we never seen someone with a power before. With your power, Zuko, or with your quirks, you can... So then, Zuko ends up going to UA. He's in class 1A. Zumi is in class 1A with him. And, of course, but before that, so after the thing, Zumi did tell Inko and Shashi when they were having dinner out of town, or in town, as Inko did ask, why do you look so worried, Inko, or Zuko, or Zumi? Or what are you thinking? Well, it's about my brother. Is he really born as a monster? No. He was born as a human, but not a monster. Well, during the exam today, when Zuko showed up at their quirkless person, showed up at a quirk school, as Asashi looks at Inko and says, let her finish before... Go ahead. So, Zumi says the Zuko was when the gates opened and he ran, he transformed into a monster. As Inko and Asashi's eyes widen. Wait, so you're saying that question that you asked, was he born as a monster? If you really think about it, no, we haven't really seen his monster form. He was born as a monster. So then Zumi tells Zuko, Zumi, there's a lot of, so Zumi ends up explaining that Zuko is actually his quirk's name that the quirk doctor was confused about. As Inko's eyes widen. So all this time we named his quirk Zuko, but his friends called him Deku. And how? Well, I have seen his monster form during it. So, yeah. So then after that, after they go back home, as Zuko was sleeping hardly, or Zuko was sleeping like a toddler, as he thought he was. So then after that, Zuko went to UA, Class 1A, and I am going to skip all the way to the heroes versus villains because I feel like it, because USJ, Zuko, who basically says, don't worry about a single thing. And Zuko used his own powers. But then at Sports Festival, Zuko didn't eat, so both so Deku and Zuko start arguing. So, yeah, and that created a new fusion. And calls him D.I. That's spelled with D and I. Basically, D.I. Yeah, so Midoriya. So basically, he is a dark counterpart. Like basically Zero, because his powers of Zero, kind of like the Void, but he's more powerful than any normal human. As everyone is shocked. That, is this a new form? Is this like a bondage between Quirk and the host user, as he looks at them, he says, yes, but it's an argument between both sides of me. I hold the power of zero, infinite zero. So, as his eyes were flaming gold, or his eyes were like that, as everybody can't believe that both Deku and Zuko were both. Bakugo can't believe his eyes. He's literally seen, like, his own friend gets turned into a dark version of himself if he argues with himself. As his power, he had like waves after waves that it was so powerful that most, like, everyone's quirks except for Dark Shadow's quirk got immediately turned off. Like, they were scared inside of a person's body. As Dark Shadow's quirk says, I see why Zuko and Deku they are fighting each other's for. As Dark Shadow asks someone, or actually, Zumi actually knows what to do. As Zumi walks over to a food place, or let's say the store owner asks Zumi that or actually restaurant owner that Zuko usually visits, says, before you go to school, can you give your brother this? Because I have a feeling that he's might be hungry for her. And Azumi walks up to Zuko, as he says, or Azumi passed Zuko's, or passed the food into, and Zuko is both, Zuko and Deku looks at the food, as he pulls out a Big Mac. Or not even a Big Mac. It's a Monster Mac. Like, it was bigger than Zumi's entire body. With the drinks that are, like, bigger than... I'm not even kidding. Bigger than the Whitebeard's is, like, if he was standing up. That's how big they got it. They were like, he never... And he picks it up. As both Zuko and Deku agree. As they deformed, and Zuko became a lot more bigger than... And his jaw becomes like unhinged like a snake. And like ate the entire burger. And they're, Nom, nom, nom. Yeah. And then he slurps up all the drink. That was bigger than Whitebeard, so yeah. So he drank it all, like, yeah. The, yeah. Zuko and Deku are like, as they both get, like, knocked out. Because after they slurped down all that drink stuff, they were, like, he fell face first, or actually fell backwards, and landed as he's snoring in his monster form. And because how big he was bigger than Whitebeard, so yeah. Yeah, like 2 times that. So when he like landed, everybody had to felt an earthquake as he starts snoring. As the Midnight's like, or man, that boy could eat. But they're still surprised about like the both Zuko's, if like Zuko and Deku were arguing with each other's, and they created like the dark version, like basically purple hair, purple eyes, and like opposite of this color. Imagine this color, but in purple. Yeah. Zuko isn't gonna give a crud. So, yeah. So then, what else? Zuko was basically, yeah. So, because Di, he is a dark version of if both Deku and Zuko fused together or argued together, but yeah, becomes that. And like his powers, he could have destroyed the world if he wanted to. And when he was just standing, he actually did something that no one else could have ever have done. He absorbed all the negative out of everyone else's body into himself, living or dead. Like basically Zuko absorbs the guilt of regrets of everyone. As Deku says, or actually, they're like, man, if he's this, yeah, he's in the food coma right now. As Zuko's, as he transforms back into a human, man, that was just too fun. Oh, I should have thanked him for that. As he's like watching, as he said, thank you. As he looks at the camera to like, because the same guy that I said the restaurant owner tells or was watching him, and he said, "You're welcome." So then, yeah. So then, how are you not in food coma like the Deku is? We both share the same stomachs, and we have 2 different hearts. One on the left, one on the right. But we both can never die. We both have different, but we share different things. Or we actually are the same person, but we are two different people. Like, if something happens to him, then I would end up taking control, or vice versa. So, yeah. So let's get things started. And then, okay? I believe it will land on a race one. I believe. As it lands right on race. As they're like, how did you know that? As everybody's like, how did you like predicted the future? Holy crud. And then they do like cavalry battle. And so Zuko ran. He was in the first place. Yeah. He's not even trying to step on landmines. So then, because how fast he is, he flies right over them. So then, So then So then all that stuff goes on. Time skip to All Might versus All for One. As All for One, or so All Might was down, but not out. All for One is about to kill him. He uses a blast as Deku and Zuko both agree on something. But now it was, instead of turning into a purple overpowered lord called DI, switch those two around. And it made a bright colors like yellow. Oh, it's called ID. Yeah, ID. Zuko, or ID Midoriya. So it was like, replace the, instead of like purple, it was yellow. That represents like, as Zuko absorbs the attack. And then something else happened. The ID and DI fused together one more time and created a new person called Ditto. The Lord of Multiply. Or, no, Ditto Midoriya. The Lord of, So, because as both both Ditto Midoriya and All for One were battling against each other's. And All for One was in his prime still. And Zuko, or Ditto, who just wiped him out of existence and used his own powers to reset the building back to the way it was before. And hauled everyone out of there. Thank goodness. So yeah, if you guys want me to do more of like more crazy stuff, because I'm thinking about adding a new character into this new character into this what if segment stuff. Like, I don't know, I already did one for Pony. That would be like her brother. I already did one for Meliodas from Seven Deadly Sins. And the, yeah, I already did one for the Himago Toga, and I already did one for like Momo, and so I was like, you know what? I need to create someone new before. And yeah, if you guys want me to do that, let me know in comments. So let's continue. So Zuko, so the next day, Deku and Zuko showed up to UA, and they did get a like egg McMuffin before. It was like what I said in like the sports festival. The egg McMuffin, or actually, not even the egg McMuffin. It was like the Monster Mac was bigger than Whitebeard's, but Zuko was 3 times as that. So yeah, he ate the Monster Mac without, yeah. So then, so Deku and, or so Inko and Sashi loved their son so much. So yeah. And they were like, man, we need to spend more time with him if he's this powerful. So yeah, so then all the stuff happens, and yeah, Zuko became known to the world as the most powerfulest being in the universe. Metaverse, too. So, because one of his powers. So, Deku's is. He was born with 4 powers: Infinity, Zero, Metaverse, and Fusion. So yeah. If you guys want me to do, yeah. So, but Ochako walks up to Zuko, not in her injured form, but she tells Zuko that, or Deku, that she's still in love with him, no matter what. As she told him that they were just pranking him. As he says, yeah. And Bakugo, did you really make my little sister sad about? Oh, as Bakugo, yeah. So Bakugo knew that Zumi was, or he's actually is in love with Zumi. Because, but he forgot to tell her that it was a pranking her brother. But Zuko knew it was a prank for him. So during the such villain thing that I forgot to, I probably told, but Zuko tells Zumi that Zuko told Zumi that I think Bakugo and Ochako were trying to prank me instead of you. How can you tell? Well, because we have that habit of pranking each other's. Like sometimes you prank me on like certain things. Yeah. So Bakugo was safe. So then, yeah. So Ochako gets married to Zuko and Deku. Both of them have Midoriya in their last name, so yeah. So then, yeah, and so And Bakugo gets married to Zumi. And Zumi and got, or so she ends up hitting, or she gave birth to 4 kids, or actually 2 kids, or no, 3. Yeah, 3 kids. And yeah, and because Ochako isn't married to one person, she's also married to Zuku, or basically a quirk and a monster. So, yeah. Sorry. So yeah, she gets the package deal. And yeah, so she gave birth to little monsters. But they were like, do you see the little group? Like, Manetter, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, Ochako gave birth to 8 little monsters. Or actually, they were little monsters. But they have human intelligence. And yeah, the 8 of them, because each one has like different, because there was 4 girls and 4 boys. Yeah. And if you guys want me to do, like, because reason why I say, like, leave a like, share, subscribe, him at the end of each time is so if you guys want me to do a what if, like, for those kids, the ones that were like, what if, for like Zuku's kids, or it would be like a custom one, but yeah. But at least in this alternate timeline, Ochaku got Zuku, the boy, not be with Bunny Girl. So that's good. And yeah. And that was just a joke, not actual one, because that would have been super weird. Because I know last time I made like a character, like, be weird, should I say? And there was one comment said, like, they're not gay thing. Well, first of all, I know what if it is, but but I know that you guys don't understand it, but I do, because I create these videos for just dumb fun of it. It's just for dumb fun, nothing, don't take everything like, literally, like, basically, I could have just made Deku destroy the world or I could have made D.I. Zuko, who'll destroy the entire world or make, like, have a bunch of villains spawn, or like, grabs Ochako when, yeah, off screen or whatever. So yeah. So if you guys want me to do, like, to add their, like, every past what if Zuko's videos that I make into like a new storyline. First of all, it would be called Metaverse Kids. I hope that's not a real thing, because I would probably rip someone off. I don't want to do that. So let me know in the comments below, and have a good night or day, depends on the time zones. Peace.